Hello, city builders. Welcome back to Nouveau Springs on the Azure Gulf map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. This is Hubbub. It has been a little bit of a while. The irony is that I thought I would pick up my playing and recording pace during the summer, but I go into decompression mode and then I garden and I'm on my bike and I'm catching up on reading comic books and squaring away my comic book collection. And there's so many other things that distract me that I'm not in the game as often as I would like. But I do want to continue with the builds we've been working on. What I want to do right now, as promised, is name a few buildings. I've been thinking, earlier I had said, well, I'm not going to name schools. But then I thought, university campus, often donors get buildings named after them. So we're going to name some university buildings, I think. And I'm going to just bounce around the list of who's left. And so we're going to start the commencement office. I would like to name this commencement green. And so we need to find, so we're going to call this the Arctium Commencement Green. So that'll be pretty cool. There's two. And then I could keep going forever with all the university buildings. Let's see, what else do we have? Over here to the right, we have a science campus with an observatory and some other buildings. So I think this observatory, we could name that after someone easily. We'll call this the Clarke Campus Observatory for Delroy Clarke, who's been a longtime subscriber. And then let's see, are there any other we got the museum here, which is the Science Center. So we're going to call this the Andreas Fulde Science Museum. Okay, how are we doing? And then what else can we do? There are still several more names that we can do here. Let me knock out a couple more. Now this building here already has a name. Let's see. We have the math club. That's not quite as prestigious. Let's see. We have the science center. Let's call, now I don't know if I have enough letters in a name, but Capitales Imaginarias. And my fingers don't do what my mind wants them to do. Wow, the Capitales Imaginarias Science Center. So that's very cool. And then let's see, there's a library downtown. If I can find it. In the downtown area, we have this. Oh, you know what? We could also name the art museum too. So we have the University Library. Let's name this the Heijden Library. That's a cool name for a library. And then what can we call? We're going to call this, because I don't know who Triple D really is, but we could say that Triple D is a famous artist in Nouveau Springs. So we're going to call this the Triple D Modern Art Museum. So thank you to all those folks. I really appreciate you being subscribers to the channel. All right, so now moving on to what we want to work on today. We have been over here on the waterfront for a very long time, but that's because there's just so much that we have to do to make this the lovely area that it is intended to be. While I'm scanning, let's just take a look at our tourism numbers. Look at all those ships pulling up at the dock. I think there's 100 per ship here. But we have 512 at that terminal, 200 at that terminal, 1,000 at the space elevator. This monorail is pulling 1,000 this last week, and this one's going to be 1,500, which is really kind of cool. So that brings me to the goal for this video today. I have been saying for a while that I wanted to build a marina in here. This breakwater is modeled after Kai Tak in Hong Kong, and there are some marina assets. When I look at some of the project proposals for the revisioning of Kai Tak, we're going to go a little bit more intense with the marina here. There are three main things that I want to focus on in this video, and I don't know if we'll get into all of them in this video, but as I've been boxing this, essentially what I've been thinking about is I have these two pedestrian bridges that are moving tourists from this peninsula over to the mainland. And I'm doing it that way because that way I can generate some income with the ticket sales from tourists passing. Look at all those tourists passing through the gates. So that's what's going on there. But the presence of these pedestrian bridges makes the building of this marina just a little bit challenging because obviously we cannot have any sailing boats over here. The thing is, with the sailboats, they cannot fit under these pedestrian bridges. So this part of the marina is going to be for yachts, powered boats. This part of the marina will be for sailboats. And then I've been playing around with ideas. I got some feedback in a Facebook group I'm in on the asset that I'm going to drop right here, which would be a nice capstone to the end of this breakwater. I can't put it in here because it'll block the channel and prevent ships or boats from coming in and out. And I don't think it'll look too strange here. And it makes sense to have it here because if you're chilling on this asset that I'm about to plop in there, then you can see both this skyline and this one. If I stick it here, then its view from the original skyline is blocked. And so that's what I want to start with first. And this is probably the most difficult part of the build because it's really hard to get this asset to find an anchoring spot. I need to have the roads connected, but it doesn't get along with the existing quay. And finding shoreline has proven challenging. So I may do a little bit of stuff that looks kind of wackadoodle with this. We will see in a second. So first I want to get rid of these trees. And we'll put them back, but for now they're just going to be in the way. And then second, I need to eliminate that road. For the time being. Now, the asset we're looking at is Marina Bay Resort. And it's a really bizarre asset because I'm just testing this to see if I can get it to catch. Yeah, and it sees the shoreline, but it's not. And so this is where things are going to get tricky. I may have to do some weird stuff here. The first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to grab these nodes, line them up properly. And then while I'm at it, let's just check and see. That doesn't change anything. Okay, so next step then, this is going to look absolutely crazy. I don't think you could ever do this in real life, obviously, but we're going to drag these all the way out here, and then we're going to bend these so that they don't conflict at all with the asset. Now, problem is, we don't have adequate shoreline here now, and I have had a hard time constructing this, modifying the shoreline to get it to work. So we're going to see if I can lift this up and smooth it off well enough I've tried doing it with ramps. And I think part of what happens here, because I've had some trouble with some of the other boat assets and the piers as well, is the water level doesn't stay consistent, and so the asset has a hard time finding shoreline as the water runs up and down. So I'm going to try to smooth this off now, and you can see the water is flowing in there. So essentially here, as I'm placing this Marina Bay asset, I'm trying to configure this in such a way that the roads are parallel as I can get them. So, but I also have to make sure that when it places, the road is flat on the terrain. Sometimes when you place this, it will position the road as a bridge, and I really would like to be able to place assets next to this road as I develop the green space later in the build. Now I'm just leveling up some of this ground so that I can extend the original road network back in place. I have to do a little bit of playing around to get things perpendicular and well positioned. And then we're going to move the Grand Mall back in place here in just a second. Okay, and so at this point now, I'm putting the keys back in place using Move It. This build would probably be impossible to do in vanilla. You really have to, I mean, you could do it. It would be tedious. You'd have to think very carefully about how you laid things out as you went along. I'm not going to say it would be impossible, but Move It makes this so much easier. You can align all your heights like I'm doing right here. You can get your networks perfectly straight the way you would like them. Okay, so here we go. We have... that right here might be one video. We have placed the Marina Bay. And it is placed, I think, in a nice spot. You could blame me for eyeballing the centerpiece. Oh, now one other thing. There's a... oh, I think I forgot. I bet you I forgot. Just not enough water. Oh, yeah, I gotta bring the pipes under the road. Okay, now there's a mod that I can use to change these trees. The trees that are native to this asset are palm trees, but most of my trees in this build have been the poplars and the elms, and then some vanilla trees. So I'm going to replace these trees or get rid of them entirely because they just don't fit. But that is that part of the build. Next part, we will put in piers and docks and all that kind of good stuff in here. All right, city builders, welcome back. This is Hubbub. So we're on the next phase of this marina build. Before I begin, I do want to notice one thing. This is kind of cool. We have crested 200,000 for this city, which is really nice. And on the low end, we're at 196,000 in this build. So we've been swinging back and forth. But what's really cool for me as a metric hound, an algorithm hound, is when I hit the 200,000, my RICO is almost perfectly flat. So I'm really happy with that. Treasury is stable. At this 200,000 point, traffic flow is in good shape. Everything's doing pretty nice. So what I want to work on in this section of this build is getting in the part of the marina where we're going to park our yachts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace a path around the quay, around the outside, and then we'll put in our piers off of that pathway that I traced around the quay in order to plop all of our yachts. And again, I have sandboxed all of this. That's not what I want. I want So I discovered that the zoo path gives me wood. So the first thing I want to do, and it's way too tall, but we're going to fix that, is bring this over here. Bring this over here. And bring this over here. And then we're going to drop it all down. Okay. I think for now that works. Then let's fix this slope again. That. There we go. There we go. Perfect. For the time being, I think I'm going to be happy with this as it is. If I start getting warnings of flooding, we will adjust. But this looks pretty good. Okay, so my next step will be to bring in some piers. And in order to do that, piers, in order to do that adequately, I need to plop some boats. Because I need to be able to see what the lengths of these boats are in order to put my piers in. So I'm just going to plop all the different yachts and motorboats that I've brought in. Okay, that's weird. Oh, that's bizarre. What is that? Prop. Why is that happening? I don't know if I want to have to mess with that. Put this one here. And let's put this one here. Oh! Okay, wrong one again. Nope. Ploppable. That'll work. I don't think I've used that yet. No, I have used it once, but that's okay. Let's slide that one in. All right, city builders, welcome back. So I think we have pretty realistic spacing here. Nice variety of boats. This is the only one. This little teeny small one is the only one that bugs me a little bit because it just seems dwarfed by the pier. But to a certain extent, that's the behavior of the water that's causing this, because the water drops too low in order for these boats, I think, to look realistically parked in their slips. But I can't drop the level of these piers without creating flooding issues in the dock that's along the quay. So this is it. This looks pretty decent, I think. Next stage will be to work on the section out here with sailboats. Hello, city builders, welcome back. So this last phase of the marina build, we're going to add in some sailboats. There is some beautification that I need to do here, and then I am going to put in some commercial assets right here in the middle, some restaurant piers. But what I want to work on right now is going to be really, really simple, straightforward docks for sailboats. So this should be pretty short and sweet. Whoa! Wrong button. Okay, so what I want to do here... That was funny. Or not. So let's grab our... No. Come on. Okay, so one thing I need to do is I need to pull this node out so that it's even with that node. And that should do it. Now, I should be able to draw this out all the way even here. And then we're going to drop that down. And we have a model on the other side, so that will make it a little bit easier to figure this part out, because we're going to bring this down to the same level. Okay, so that about does it with the sailboats. I think the spacing in these piers is just fine. Oh, looks like I have a couple blank spots. Let's fill those in real quick. there. And I think this can fit right there. That's not going to work. Maybe this can't fit. Okay, so let's just eliminate one of these. And then we can drag this. Come on. There we go. Drag this one here. This one here. This one needs to come back. Okay, there we go. So now we're set. The last little touch here. Who knows what else I might think of. But we have these really cool restaurant piers. I want to create some traffic. So we're going to grab this. We're going to drop a couple of these in. So this will bring in some foot traffic. And adds a little bit of variety in the middle of the build. I think overall this looks pretty decent. I need to work on this a little bit more. I need to add in some spacing here, but not spacing, landscaping right in here. I don't know if I could find some assets in there or not, but I don't think I should try. What I think I should do is replicate. I don't know if I have any umbrellas. No, but we could try to put some tables in here or something. So I need a landscape here. Anyways, sorry, I'm really off track there. So I need a landscape in here. I need to add some landscaping here. I don't know if this works as well as I'd like it to. I do need to fix the trees on that. But I think the marina is fairly well finished. About as realistic as it could be. I think spacing is good. We have the sailboats out here so the masts don't conflict with the pedestrian bridges. And we have our yachts right in here. Our power boats right in here. So this is perfect. None of these are going to collide with the pedestrian bridges as they exit. And that pretty much does it for this build. Again, I want to thank you so much for watching. This is Hubbub signing off.